Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Kelly Brown with P3 Leadership.
Welcome to our conversation. I am Dr. Deirdre Williams with the U-Bridge Project.
We are so glad that you are here, and we would like to spend just a few minutes talking about equity. We happen to be at the School Reform Initiative Conference and having so much fun. And the purpose of the School Reform Initiative is to make sure that we have the tools and processes needed so that we can keep equity at the forefront of our conversations. And really, when we're talking about equity, we're specifically talking about the practices to ensure that each child is able to be successful regardless of any internal or external social or cultural contexts.
And so, as we've been talking, we've really been thinking about how do we get to this notion of educational equity and excellence for our learners. And engaging in the conversation and having this wonderful experience at the School Reform Initiative, we've come to the conclusion that there's about 6 pillars or 6 critical factors that educators must engage in and begin to develop in order to meet or get to along this continuum of getting to equity and excellence for all learners. And I think at the core where it starts is we as educators must first examine our beliefs and the assumptions that question so that we can question how those are enacted in our practice.
We also want to make sure that we're engaging in collaborative and public assessment of student work and adult work. If we're not assessing the work that we're doing, it's hard to determine how well that we're trying to achieve our goal of equity.
So we do that work. We think about what these beliefs are that we have and these assumptions, and we have to work in ways that start to challenge those assumptions that are getting in the way of us getting to equity and excellence for our students.
Yes, and in that process, it's also important for us to think of our colleagues. And we need to make sure that we are being accountable to our colleagues, that we're continuously improving our practices so that it benefits students.
So digging into that work gets to this space where we start thinking about, do we know our students well? And when we know them well, then we work towards making sure that we engage them in relevant, meaningful, rigorous, demanding work that ensures that they can be successful.
And not only do we need to know our students well, we also have to do the work to make sure that we're challenging our assumptions and any biases that we may have about equity. So it's not only building that relationship with students, but also solidifying that relationship so that we understand who we are and our positionality in the system, so that we're able to create those outcomes.
As we're talking, I'm reminded of this text, knowing, doing, being, and becoming, as though saving the African American child matters. And as I think about that text, the work that we're charged to do here with getting to equity and excellence is knowing, doing, being, and becoming culturally proficient practitioners so that we can connect with every student regardless of the differences that they bring to the classroom.
Absolutely. We would also like to engage you in this conversation. Please let us know your thoughts about equity. How are you keeping it in the forefront? What are you doing in your classrooms or with adult learners to encourage equity, and what does it look like? Talk to us. We want to know. We hope to see you again soon, and thank you for joining in on our conversation.
Thank you.